Superman, the red and blue icon of truth, justice, and the American way. Ultraman, the icon of kindness, humanity, and kicking monster tail. When you have two characters who embody strength so precisely as these, it begs the question, who would win? With two such characters as iconic as they are bound to have evolved throughout the lengthy history of their series, becoming more powerful as time goes on, and people's standards become higher. So we will be pitting the most contemporary versions of these two characters against each other. Since we will be using the classic Ultraman from the 1966 series, also taking into account his later appearances throughout the franchise, such as in Mega Monster Battle, Ultra Galaxy Legends the movie, as that is technically the same character, we will examine his closest contemporary, the Christopher Reeve version of Superman, from Superman 1978 through to Superman 4, The Quest for Peace 1987. We will be looking at a few categories: strength, speed, durability, battle experience, and special abilities. With that out of the way, let's get started. Starting with Christopher Reeve's Superman, the easiest way to measure his strength is to look at his most impressive feat, which is when he literally lifted a part of the tectonic plate to keep the San Andreas Fault from falling apart. Tectonic plates, according to Britannica, are typically around 60 miles deep, so he's literally lifting 60 miles worth of Earth in this scene. I'm no mathematician, so I can't exactly quantify how much he is lifting here, but it's a lot. Ultraman can lift a lot too, regularly sending kaiju like Naranga, who, according to the Ultraman wiki, weighs 40,000 tons, into the monster graveyard in space, with relative ease too. However, we see that Ultraman does have a limit, as he fails to lift the monster Skydon, who, once again going by the Ultraman wiki's statements, weighs 200,000 tons. So quite easily, Superman wins in the strength category. Then there's speed. Here, once again, Superman wins with ease, and it's not even a competition as Superman moves so fast, he's literally able to go back in time like the Flash. Ultraman, to the best of my knowledge, is not able to fly anywhere near this fast. And Ultras even take advantage of opening up portals to shorten their flight time between the Land of Light and other planets, as shown when Ultraman Mabius opened up a portal in Mega Monster Battle Ultra Galaxy Legends the movie, so they can't be all that fast. Next is durability. On Superman's part, his durability is actually astoundingly low compared to his strength. This is shown most prominently in his fight with Zod. Here, we see that when he blows up a piece of building materials thrown at him by General Zod, he actually winces at the explosion. This on its own isn't that big a deal, but later on, one of Zod's minions throws a sewer cover at him like a frisbee, and that sends him flying into the hood of a car. Sure, you could argue that because a Kryptonian threw it, most of the damage came from velocity, but that still shows some level of weakness because the material had to show some resistance to his supposedly bulletproof skin to do anything to him. Think of it like if the strongest person on Earth threw a foam disc at you at about 100 miles an hour. Would it hurt? Probably not, it's foam. Heck, even rubber bullets fired out of a gun don't usually kill because our flesh is naturally stronger than rubber. So what does that mean? It means that simple iron can damage Superman, and this is consistent with the power level of his contemporary Kryptonians, shown in this scene where the lady hits the brute, I don't know their names, just bear with me, with a metal pole, and it sends him flying without causing any apparent damage to the metal pole itself, showing once again that iron is just a little bit stronger than Kryptonian. This isn't even the worst of it, as Superman is nearly killed by a computer in Superman 3, 1983. Being electrocuted by what appears to be standard Tesla coils and choked out by some cable. Well, we established that Superman isn't the most durable fellow. Well, what about Ultraman? Ultraman is shown to be able to take attacks from monsters ranging from 10,000 tons to 60,000 tons, meaning that there is a lot of weight behind each punch. As for energy attacks, he's pretty good against those too, tanking Naranga's electricity blast like it's literally nothing. The only attacks that really phased him were Gamora's tail swipes and Zeton's beam. So in this round, I'm going to have to give the durability to Ultraman. Well, what about battle experience? The edge definitely goes to Ultraman. Until Superman 2, Superman had never even seen a being as powerful as he was, and it showed in his fighting style, which would not improve much when he had to fight Nuclear Man in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Ultraman, on the other hand, has lived 20,000 years, and it is implied that he's been fighting kaiju all that time, something that comes across in the shows. In the series, Ultraman has fought a total of 41 kaiju and giant aliens, Seijin, and more in later appearances throughout the Ultra series. His most impressive showing, however, is in Mega Monster Battle Ultra Galaxy Legends, the movie, when he fought Ultraman Belial alongside just 2 of his brothers, and held his ground much longer than a literal horde of Ultraman was able to do with Belial moments earlier. That horde, including prominent Ultramen such as Taro, Neos, 721, Max, Xenon, Yulian, Powered, Great, Chuck, Scott, Beth, Mabius, and Hikari, all of which, except the unnamed ones and Xenon, featured prominently in Ultraman shows, gaining just as much, if not more experience than was shown in the original Ultraman show, which means that Ultraman outclasses all of those in battle experience. As I said, the edge easily goes to Ultraman. Well, what about special abilities? Superman has quite a lot up his sleeve, but the most notable abilities are his laser vision, freezing breath, flight, turning carbon into diamonds using the pressure of his hand, and the power to make someone forget your secret identity with a kiss. Twice. Man, these movies were weird. Ultraman has quite a lot of abilities too, many of which are energy related. In addition to the power of flight he shares with Superman, Ultraman can shoot his signature Spatium Ray along with a special golden variant he uses against Ultraman Belial. He can throw Spatium Discs, he can issue a green spiral attack which can make monsters instantaneously explode, he can use telekinesis to hold monsters suspended mid-air, and shoot water from his hands. Yeah, that show was also weird. As interesting as Superman's powers are, I have to give the edge to Ultraman because his are simply more useful in a fight. But hey, for everyday life, you may prefer to have the power to make people forget that stupid thing you did once. So I guess I'll give Superman the edge for social superpowers? Okay, those 5 factors taken into account, who wins? Well, with a score of 3 to 5, Ultraman takes the victory with mild difficulty. Superman is way stronger and faster than Ultraman, but he doesn't even seem to put all that tectonic moving power into his fights, and his reaction time does not match that time travel feat. As for his durability, it straight up sucks considering he almost got choked out by a computer of all things. And while his laser vision sure is helpful, it is negated by all the energy attacks that Ultraman has in his arsenal. Well, what do you think? Did you think this was a well thought out video, or do you think I'm living in crazy land where Ultraman can beat Superman? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And let me know if you want to see Shin Ultraman versus Henry Cavill Superman for a more modern take on this classic rivalry. Or even a reprise of my very first video as JP Zilla, Ultraman vs. Godzilla. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.